this is so fabulous. Alrighty, it's time to create the Handy Goddess workshop. This used to be a machinist workshop, you know, so it's a little masculine. I've got to girl it up a little bit. Alrighty, so let's get to it. Alright, I'm sorry. Who am I kidding here? Sorry, this is Barbara. I can't, I really, this space is, I mean, look. Alright, I've got a lot of work to do here. Let's see, there's the roof, the bathroom. I think there's been critters living in there, so I gotta take the drywall down, and I've gotta rip out this cruddy sink. And I need to figure out how to build a sink for this bathroom, because I need a workplace for my buckets and stuff, and right now it's just draining to the outside, and I gotta make it drain into the sewer because there might be paint. And then, I gotta do that roof, and then, God, those cabinets are a mess. And then I gotta build a rack for my artwork, my paintings to hang into. And, woo, yeah. And then I'm gonna hang doors. And I got a lot of greasy furniture to paint because, like I said, it was a machinist's workshop. So, this is not going to be your typical Handy Goddess episode. I can't do it. In fact, there's no way in hell I'm going to wear a bra for this either, so I'm going to take this off. Woo, there we go. Fabulous. Okay, and then I'm going to actually put on a sweatshirt because it's actually kind of cold, even though the sun's shining out here. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to, but I will narrate the process when I figure out how to actually build this sink. I'll let you know. And a lot of painting to do, and construction, and greasy, dirty mess, so I'm going to get to it, okay? And then I'll come back and I'll be the Handy Goddess when we dress up that house behind me. Fabulous, okay? Let's do it, Barbara. So before I built the sink, what I had to do was cut out all the old drywall, and then I had to decide the placement of the sink. Basically what I wanted was a big sink that I could hold buckets and still use this toilet I'm sitting on. So I got all that done, and then I started by drawing plans, and I just drew it on the wall because I got the shape. And then I took some old wood that I had, and I built a frame. I took the frame once it was built and I mounted it to the wall. And I knew this thing was going to be heavy, so I made sure it was braced properly on the bottom, so it would stand up with all the weight. So once I got the frame built, I of course cut the hole for the drain, and then I had to hook up the plumbing, and the feed line in, of course we only have cold water, but it's water nonetheless. And so that was plugged up, and then I had to cut that and make that work, and then it didn't have anywhere to drain, so I had to cut the sewer line drain and add this to that, and then frame all that out with drywall to cover it up, make it look pretty. Alright, so the sink's framed out, and I did the plumbing, and I cut the drain line, and I did all that. And then to build the sink, I took my plywood, my frame that I built out of just scrap lumber, and sealed the wood properly. And then I cut out hardy back board, cement board, to frame the sink out with, and I did that and cut a hole for the drain in my irregular shapes and cut holes for the faucet. And then after the hardyback was in, I cut the tile pieces, and I laid out patterns on the floor for the side shapes of the walls and the floor, and pieced all that together before I actually put it in. And then I fixed up the thin set and set the tile in the sink. The front was a nice big solid piece of tile that I found, and I had to mount it. So I found this metal trim that I laid along the bottom, screwed in so it had something to lean against. And then once all the tile was in, I clamped it and used sticks to hold it in place until it dried thoroughly. Of course, and then comes the grouting, and then I just grout the sink. Grouting was I had to make a spot for the drain to sit into it, so it was flush so the water would just roll down the drain. Of course, oh yes, and when I was plumbing the drain, I had to put in a vent because the vent for the toilet is an awful long distance from the sink, so I just vented it. I got a nice inexpensive faucet from Habitat for Humanity, so then I put the faucet in and voila! Did a little texturing on the walls and a faux paint finish, and then that's done. And then, so now I have a working sink in the bathroom so I can go out into the other part of the room. And then what did I have to do there? Okay. And then in the rest of the room, we had to rip down the drywall because there was a lot of rotted drywall and the walls were a mess, so we cleaned all that up. And moved around all the junk that was in here. And then of course I had to build a rack for my paintings. After I built that, then I had to paint the cabinets to make it my handicap studio. Alrighty, and then I took the old greasy vise and made that my color. Organizing in here and places to hang tools, and then it's all beautiful. And then fabulously, once again, Habitat for Humanity, I got some really fabulous glass doors for the front of the studio, so I put those in, and that wasn't such an easy well, you know, I've hung a lot of doors, so I'm still waiting for new door handles, but I go along on it. start my show once again. If you like what I do here, I'd really love it if you'd toss me a tip or something. It's just a simple tip for what I do. Alright, because what I am is pretty much a one-woman production company doing everything, all of it, and I'm doing it merely for the joy of it. But I can't keep this up without your support. I'm here asking you please for your help. Lots of things to do here. But I'm not going to take my time and effort into building this show around if I don't get your support. So I'm asking you for your help here. So what I've done to make this easy is I've teamed up with patreon.com, and there's, you know, several silly bonuses there, and you know, there's a donate button on my website. So there's different options. So Barbara can put on her hard hat, alrighty, and do the exciting things that she wants to do to this house, and create a silly ass show for you that teaches you a few things.